The furious widow of a firefighter who died during a horror blaze has accused his bosses of a cover-up and callously dehumanising her late husband and blasted the 3-year legal delay. Shelley Martin said it was unacceptable and abhorrent that she was still waiting for answers over the death of husband Barry, who died in a fire in the former Jenner's building in Edinburgh.
Barry Martin's death was not a consequence of the career he chose. We ask that it is never framed as a sacrifice. Barry should never be reduced to a symbol. He was a person, and his life and death must never be made abstract. His death was the result of decisions that must be capable of examination. This prolonged delay and continued inaction left me with a choice: remain silent or act in the public interest. For our family, silence is not an option.
The dad of 2 from Rosyth in Fife died from catastrophic burns and a lack of oxygen on the 27th of January 2023 while fighting a large fire at the old department store in Edinburgh earlier that week. The heartbroken mum demanded justice for a recently qualified firefighter husband, a dad of 2 twin 11-year-old boys, at a press conference in Glasgow, and demanded the Lord Advocate speed up the Crown process.
Delays of this length are not just painful. They affect our basic human rights to truth, dignity and justice, because grief does not pause whilst investigations stall. I was driven to study Scots law because of what happened to Barry, and I understand acutely what delay means, not just emotionally, but legally. When a process remains unresolved for this long, the integrity of any future proceedings is placed at risk. Timely investigation is not a courtesy, it is a fundamental safeguard. But this is not only about our family. Firefighters across Scotland continue to be recruited into the service without knowing what happened to Barry.
She said their twin boys, Oliver and Daniel, who were only 8 when he died, had been forced to grow up fast due to the tragic death of their devoted father, and they could not grieve properly until prosecutors make a decision on the case. Her lawyer, Amar Anwar, said the firefighter was sent into the building in central Edinburgh unprepared and unequipped and was the least experienced member of the 4-man breathing apparatus team. He refused to go into detail, but said there could have been failures which may lead to charges being brought in connection with Barry's death.
Graham, can I also say that the family are led to believe that reports were instructed that have found fundamental failures in the manner in which the situation was dealt with. I'm not going to go into further details, but fundamental failures, significant failures that potentially could lead to corporate homicide charges or other matters under health and safety laws.
Andrew Watt, Deputy Chief Fire Officer at the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, said, "Our thoughts remain firmly with firefighter Martin's family and all those affected by the tragic incident which took place at the former Jenner's building in 2023. The Jenner's fire remains subject to an ongoing and active investigation which is being led by Police Scotland and overseen by the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service. It would therefore be inappropriate for the SFRS to comment on any specific claims while these legal processes remain live. We have and will continue to cooperate fully with all external investigations." But the Crown Office said they'd received 2 prosecution reports from the Health and Safety Executive. A spokesman said standard prosecution reports have been received by the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service from the Health and Safety Executive in connection with the death of Barry Martin in Edinburgh on the 27th of January 2023. The investigation is ongoing and we will continue to share significant developments with the Martin family.